Okay, I'm going to use Aiden photo as an example. So what you're going to see here is that you're going to have a portrait and a drawing paper. Now this is a smaller drawing paper, which is also telling you that you can do smaller than A4. The submission criteria for 1F will be A5, half of A4. Alright, if this is A4, this is only half of A4. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to have this piece of work, right? I want you to put this in front of a light and flip the paper around. So through the light, you should be able to see your image, right? I want you to quickly just draw an outline that's more than the image outline. More than the image outline. Okay, that's all I need you to do. You put it to the screen and then you get it this way. So you'll see that this is what you get, right? From here, what you want to do is I want you to shade really hard to fill up this square, this shape completely. Okay. So the process that we're going to do today is tracing. So part of the process of tracing is to create some carbon at the back of the paper. So when you flip it around, alright, you will get a lot of carbon at the back, and then the front is where you start tracing. Then what you want to do is to place this piece of work onto your drawing paper. Now I understand that I printed slightly bigger than this for you. It is okay if you cropped it, alright, but try to keep it in the middle or understand the strategy of placing it correctly. Okay, so what's going to happen is you're going to put this here. You're just going to trace. So what I want to see is you trace the outline. Okay, and turn your hair into just one shape will do. No need to trace the detail, just one shape will do. What you can see is this will happen. Okay, so I want you to trace them according to what you see, just the line. Even the eyebrow is only just one shape. Okay, no need to do the detail, just trace one shape will do. So the nose you can just maybe copy around here, trace around here. The lips also just trace the outline will do. The ear, you do not need to trace the inside of the ear, just the outside. And then the entire jawline. Now I want you to trace all the way until the neck and the collar. Okay, and I want a bit of the shoulder. If you want to trace a thigh, go ahead and trace a thigh also. So what you will get is something like this. Can you see? Okay, something like this. This is the outline I need only. That should be enough already. So from here, what you can do next is that you can use your marker pen. Okay, you can use any marker pen you want. Okay, but you have the Copic marker to use, so use the Copic marker. So trace the outline of this using a marker pen. Now for those who have tracing paper at home and say, hey, can I use tracing paper? Yes, you can. But the image will be reversed. And if you don't mind that, I'm okay with it also. Alright, so I'm okay with it. So same goes. Trace just the outline will do. So if you notice, right, I am not asking for accuracy. I am asking for a bit of likeness. Okay, look a little bit like you, that will be enough. Now please ensure you draw the neck. If you don't have the neck, you look like you decapitated yourself, you know. So this will be the ideal. So you have something like this. Okay, now still remember all the lines that you created with your Nerographic works. So it would, all the works that look something like this. Alright, so all the lines that you remember, you can use it today already. So what I want to do is for you to extend this line, okay, all the way to the edge. Then create a Nerographic. For example, there was a calm shape that looks something like this. You can do something like this. And let's say there's a happy shape that looks something like this. You can do something like this. Okay, now you are noticing that there are a couple of a lot of blank spaces here. Now last time we did was emotion line with a shape and extend neuro lines out of the shape. So now the shape is replaced by a portrait. So in this case, you're going to extend neuro lines that you've created. Okay, you may even cross inside a little bit. Now bear in mind, all this spare area where you can see these are more cluttered, this is less cluttered. Try to balance it out. Don't be one side too cluttered and the other side has nothing. Okay, you may also want to consider doing this way. So carry on with the shape. So once you got to this point, you almost feel that it's balanced with all the lines already, with all the emotion line that you have already created. The next step is going to be much simpler. The next step is the one that you should remember. Should look something like this. Should look something like this. You should remember all the time when I ask you to ensure that there's no sharp edges like this. You want to round it up using this curve. So what you're going to do is going to create this gooey things for every point that you see a joint. So also you want to do this at the same time. Okay, you want to create thick and thin lines. That is my requirement. If you remember, my expectation of lines must have variety. Some lines must be thin, some line must be thick. So confident, nice thick lines like this. Okay, all these edges, smooth them out. All right, then you can carry on. These sharp edges also round it up. So don't want to see sharp edges. So what you want to happen is this. So the facial features here, you can leave it. Okay, you can color them based on individual shape. Just ignore the you don't have to render it like a face. Now the lines, right, thick and thin, the neuro lines have thick and thin lines. The facial lines also have thick and thin lines. So coming to this edge, I want to show you that you can actually thicken the lines, even those lines that is a portrait lines. Alright, so don't just separate the lines and then thicken the neuro lines but then ignore the portrait lines. So every line is all together. It comes together like this. So by now, if you notice, right, I'm almost done. Everything is captured already. So some part thin, some part thin. So what you want to see is a balance in your work. So if you look at it like you have a lot of empty space here, you may want to add a few more lines over here or etc. But I feel that this is quite okay already. So I like to see thick and thin lines, pretty much something like this. Okay, So after this step, you can proceed to color it. If you remember the coloring, which I think I can demonstrate a short while. So it's the same. You're going to pick up colors that you like. Okay, colors that you like. But I like to see that you understand the temperature of the colors. That means like warm and cool colors. So let's say if I separate, this is warm, this is cool colors. So if you have a cool colors in one spot, the neighboring color, you can choose to put cool colors. Okay, sorry, cool, then put warm. So it's vice versa. So for example, we start off with this, right? I want to see the technique that you do is burnishing. So I like to see you pushing the color in. Oops. Pushing the color in. Okay, this one broke already. I change another color. Alright, now this is one type of colors I like. Maybe the color, the shape beside, you can put a cooler color. Okay, and then you fill up the whole space. Then the question will be, can I use a different method to color, such as can I use a gradient way to color? Yes, you can. I've seen gradient way, and I think gradient way can make the work looks good also. So I will not stop you if you like to use gradient. However, you need to show me you know how to handle the medium in terms of using it as a gradient. That I will demonstrate one time over this box, right? It's going to be from light, control light, and then as you go, it gets darker and darker. So if you could show me you know how to handle your color pencil in this manner, it is also a good way to show me you are in good control of the medium. Okay, so this is my expectation of the work.